For New Year's, the player base was screaming and begging for one thing: tower reset. Tower, if you just combine all the rewards that you can get from it, is just such a big number of gems and resources, and we got it for New Year's 2022, or end of year 2021, however you want to call it, that celebration. And we were hoping for it to happen again. But guess what? They gave us tower reset. Just tower reset at home. This is that 25 stage tower. And they just plastered over this update. And one poor guy tweeted at me saying, "Hey, they reset tower, did you see?" Yeah, buddy. Listen, we gotta talk. This is not the same tower. 5 SA coins. This is not this. This is not what we wanted. And this would have been so much better. But hey, we got a tower nonetheless. I'm gonna just plow through this as fast as possible and talk about some stuff going on in the game. It's very unfortunate. I was really hopeful we would actually get it this year. By the way, for some of you that are actually waiting, I did make a video going through half of tower and soloing half of it with Escanor, or soloing as much as I could. And the idea for that video was just to show how powerful Escanor was and to just like demonstrate that he just absolutely obliterates everything that he touches. So I was actually waiting for tower to reset to finish that, because I was like, okay, I don't think I can solo per se the following stages, the ones that I haven't done yet, because a lot of them get very specific. It's like, okay, you need to use stances, you need to use female humans, you need to use this, you need to use that, and for most of them, Escanor just actually can't do it. So what I was going to do is I was waiting for tower to reset so that I can just go, okay, Escanor destroys all of tower. Just go with Escanor and go destroy literally the whole tower using Escanor, not just by himself, but, you know, with other characters. And if you wanted to see the stuff that he could solo, it was already available. But unfortunately, tower never got reset, so I never finished that video. I might finish it one day. It's just very sad. I was really expecting it, and it would have been great because last year, when they did reset tower, it was huge. People were really excited. You know, people were you know, looking for how to do the tower, which was big for me, right? You know, I gotta take my my own dubs here and there. Okay, resetting tower is not just good for the community; it's good for me too. Okay, because you know, then people look for the old videos I did, but unfortunately, they did not. And, you know, there are a lot of stages in the tower, but hopefully maybe for anniversary they do it. I don't know. New Year seems to be like their favorite celebration. Like, they usually go crazier on New Year's. We have the costume discounts. We have a lot more going on than usually anniversary does. So, New Year's was the time that people were really expecting it. It's just a shame. It's just a shame. This tower is rewarding, and if you haven't done the titles, right? So I've already beat this horse to death 100 times. There's titles in the game that you get from, you know, doing tower that you can't get anymore for regular tower because they change how tower works to make it worse, and they never really went back and fixed those titles. So you can only do those titles to get, you know, extra food effect for this one, this kind of tower, the 25 stage one. And if you want to do it, you know, you have to go for this one. Now it's not as relevant. The biggest one was like HP food. HP food would give a bigger increase if you had like the title, like, was it 14% of 10, 12% of something like that. But right now, the HP team isn't as relevant. Like, the Reinhardt team is still usable, just isn't like as big as it was like the previous time we had a tower like this. So not as much of a rush, I'm assuming, for most players now. Like, you know, last tower was, okay, I need to maybe finish this because I don't have, maybe I'm a new player. I started summoning for, I started playing because I like ReZero. I don't know. A lot of new players come with collabs. Except Shield Hero. Shield Hero was the deadest collab ever. Surprising, because Shield Hero Season 1 was very popular. Just Season 2, I guess. I never watched Season 2, because I couldn't be asked. I just heard it was bad, so I didn't care. You know, as I've grown older, and I'm not that much older than most of you, I'm only 22, but as I've grown older, I started to have a hard time watching anime. I like reading. Becoming an old man. But I like gaming way more. That's the problem. That's the problem. I've always been more of a gamer than a weeb. Like if I want to spend my time, it's gonna be gaming. But you know, Grand Cross hasn't given me much to game, so I've had to get some other places. We haven't really had. I'm assuming again. I've said this multiple times. Origin has been the biggest load of work for the developers, and then Marble and the people that worked on Seven Deadly Sins. They definitely allocate a lot of the resources to Origin because it's the next big game. So we haven't had much real content. Like I come in here, I do my dogs. Right, I do my my weekly dogs, which takes me like 25-30 minutes. Like there's nothing really to do. I don't even do raids because there's no characters I want to level up, right? So I've been just, you know, looking for other shit to play, which I'm assuming most of you as well. Like a lot of you probably have been playing other video games on the side, unless you're new to the game. A lot of new players, you know, they just started because, you know, Escanor came out, Meliodas came out. Those are like hype characters. And you're probably still on that big grind, but don't worry. Eventually you're gonna hit that chill wall. Like the only way for me to like really spend a lot of time playing Grand Cross these days is if I want to like get like, I don't know, 13 million box CC, which I cannot be asked. I just cannot be asked. Like I know a lot of whales have been going for the big titles now to get like more attack and more defense. I cannot be asked. Like for me, if I am at such a huge advantage towards everyone else for having like, I don't know, 5 million boxes more, it doesn't make for better content. The content will stay the same, right? The videos stay the same, but it doesn't make it better. So if it doesn't make the videos better, I don't care, right? That's my that's how I think, right? Like if I need to grind dogs because dogs give me the holy relics, and the relics are videos. Having 2% more attack does not make me videos. Not especially for the amount of money I would have to spend. So I've just been chilling. I don't think I even spent money on Grand Cross for the past like 3 weeks. You know, I had to buy stuff for Meliodas because he was a festival, but you know, just the game has been just very chill. So I've been playing Epic 7. That game is disgusting though. That game is degenerate. But Epic 7, been playing other games to just keep me distracted while Grand Cross is on its transition phase to Origin. Because honestly, I wouldn't be surprised after Origin comes out, Grand Cross goes back to like normal function, and then I'm gonna have to play Origin, Grand Cross, and Black Clover all at the same time. It's gonna be rough, but I don't mind. I don't mind. Because my plan has always been, you know, I've made the Black Clover channel. Because a lot of people, you know, they're here for the Seven Deadly Sins, and they're gonna stick for Origin. Origin and Grand Cross are like, you know, from the same family tree. But they don't care as much for Black Clover, which is understandable. So, separated. I think Origin, if they don't completely rip off Genshin, it will be like a great game. And then if they also can like, you know, keep Grand Cross afloat, that'll be also great. Listen, the more games, the better. The more games, the better. I just hope they don't just like, you know, be like, okay, this is my new favorite child, Origin. Grand Cross, you can take a back seat again, all right? I know you already have been taking a back seat because we wanted to, you know, develop the damn game. You can continue taking a back seat. It's okay. All right, I'm seeing here that just doing level 1s with Escanor hasn't fully been wiping anymore. I'm gonna have to bring in like a rank up. I was hoping that 𝗧𝗢𝗪𝗘𝗥 with the damage increase would be enough to fully wipe every floor, but I guess I was a little too optimistic. I mean, it's one AoE, one finger has been doing good for the most part, as you can see. Like the extra damage the finger does to the other enemies is just too insane. Like they really messed up. They really messed up when they decided to, because we've been talking about this forever. A card, like not an ultimate, an attack card that has the death effect would be absolutely insane. And guess what? They did it. They actually did it. The Mad Lads went ahead and did it. And hey, it is pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. They had to do it for Escanor as well. Because like the only character in the game that had the death ult was Escanor. So for him to be the only character in the game with a card that does similar effect, not the same effect, but similar effect. Because I mean, if you look at it, right, eventually we got a card that has, what's its face? The Lost Vein ult. I forgot the actual name. The more cards you have in your hand, the more damage it does. And the ult was really strong at the time. It was really strong at the time. So when we got a card that did that, it was we thought it was gonna be great, but it was okay. Pretty bad, really. So the reason for that is because they toned down the actual effect of that ult. So if we were to get a proper death ult card, it would be death, but it would not be 100%. It would be like 50 or something. And we got 30, but for the whole team, I think that was a good compromise. That was a really good compromise. I think that was too much even. Maybe 15% would have been good. But hey, makes for a #1 character in the game. So can't be too upset. Although it is very strange, right? A lot of people have been upset that we never got Demon King Meliodas for the end of year. I think that if we got, it would be like pretty bad. Because, you know, obviously, Demon King Meliodas matches the hype of the one ultimate much better than Purgatory Meliodas. Purgatory Melody was still pretty hype. But Demon King Melody would have been like next level. I think that they need to still keep on their deck cards that they can use for hype celebrations, right? They can't just throw it all in just one celebration. I just wish that they would release more characters, right? Like, okay, nothing against Catastrophes, but they aren't hype. So that's simple as that. They just aren't. No one cares. If they just completely eliminated Catastrophes from the game, we just got a new one, but you know, and instead they started re-releasing characters like a new Excalibur Arthur, a new The One Escanor, even a new Goddess Liz. I think it would be much healthier for the game. Much healthier. People don't care about Catastrophes. They just kind of take a slot for releases that shouldn't like be taken. Like Valenti, the New Year's Valenti should have been someone else. The mono we just got should have been someone else. Because last year, in the place of this mono, we got 𝗥𝗡𝗪𝗧. And guess what? 𝗥𝗡𝗪𝗧 was pretty hype. It's like 𝗥𝗡𝗪𝗧 was not even that big of a character in the anime. I mean, it's just because it's Sario and he's kind of cool, right? And I mean, his skills are really cool. Counter cards, we don't get counter units very often. Like, I think if they just completely eliminated Catastrophes from the game, just said, hello, goodbye, you're out of here, it would be much healthier. I think Ragnarok can still stay because Ragnarok is just better. They actually have a story. It's not an amazing story, but they have a story, right? I don't know. Maybe people like the Catastrophe waifus. I think that what they should have done is release the Catastrophe characters as side characters on real unit banners. Like, let's say 𝗥𝗡𝗪𝗧. This year we would instead get, I don't know. What's a character we don't have that many of? I was gonna say Liz, but we have so many Liz's, so not Liz. I don't know why I thought Elizabeth. Because Elizabeth has a lot. Let's say we get a non-festival Purgatory Bond, right? We get a non-festival Purgatory Bond. It would be mildly hype. It wouldn't be like as hype as a festival banner, but it would be like, oh, it's Purgatory Bond, but he's not a festival. Just like we got like Blue Lost thing, right? And then as a side character, we got Mono. Which is like a second character in the banner, but you know, they have 3 developers, so they can't code 2 characters for 1 banner anymore. That's too much work. Too much work. They used to do that every banner, but now it's gonna take us more than 5 minutes. No, it takes a long time to do all these animations and art and stuff like that. Especially, I mean, the animations have been going more and more complex. But the thing is that, like, re-releasing a character that already exists, they don't have to do a new ultimate. They just have to do maybe one new card and then steal another one from story. I mean, listen, I'm not a game developer, but I think that stealing assets from the story is much easier or much better for the game than not releasing anything at all. Just, you know, they're going to release Mayao eventually. And there's going to be a ton of attacks from story that never get used. Ever. That's kind of a waste of time spent on those animations, you know what I mean? You got to use them somewhere. Just steal those animations, put it somewhere else. Like, I know those animations will be used in Origin. Fair enough. Like, the animations that we currently are getting in the game are going to be transferred to Origin. Because we saw in the trailer, like... it was like a DN or something, had the same animation that one of the DNs has in Grand Cross. So they are smart with it. I know they know what they're doing. But like, I don't know, man. It seems to me that you could release Corrupted Mayao and the regular Mayao in one banner. It would be pretty crazy. Probably not recommended, but it'd be pretty crazy. And you just use animations that you already made, you know? That's how it sounds to me. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, they would have to polish those animations like you do with 𝗧𝗢𝗪𝗘𝗧. We're almost done. This tower is very simple and easy and fast and not what we wanted. Again, resetting tower is free content. A lot of people wouldn't just do all of tower at once, right? The tower is huge at this point in the game. It would be like weeks of content that they would have to do nothing. No coding, nothing. All they would have to do is reset the damn thing. Like, I know they had to do nothing for this tower either, because this tower is a re-release. We've already had this tower before, this 25 stage. So, no work regardless, but it would also be no work, and the player base would be happy as hell. It was like a mostly W, the New Year celebration. The only thing that was really bad, obviously we didn't get the reset, and that new system that I still don't care to understand how it works, because I can't use it, right? I can't really use it. The system only works after you complete like the 6th constellation or something, or the 5th constellation. I haven't, so maybe eventually I'll make a video about that. I don't know. If I don't understand how it works, I don't care to complain about it, because I know it's pay to win. But I don't know how much. I don't. It's so pay to win, I don't have access to it. Think about it. Think about it. Because I only spend money on banners. I don't spend money like these other whales do. Like, a lot of these whales, they be buying literally every cosmetic there is for GP so they can get more constellation. I'm not doing all that, you know? If the if the money spent doesn't make for better videos, there's no point in spending that money. Same thing I said for getting more box CC. If getting more box CC doesn't make the videos better, there's no point in getting more box CC. Man, Escanor is just so good. Like, I know this tower is easy in general, but they really did not pull back. Like, Blue Escanor was really powerful at release. He was really, really powerful. Was he as powerful comparatively as this guy? I don't know. Because a character like him was only really good for PvP and for like bursting down on relatively easy content. Like, he could burst down and make things faster, but he wouldn't make things easier, if that makes any sense. This Escanor does both. He makes things faster and easier. I think this is getting to the point where I don't just one-shot everything. So I'm just gonna do this. Would there be a better damage increaser than Kyo? I don't know. Because I was thinking, okay, so the Ignites, at least 2 on each. One of them is going to have 4. That's 10% damage increase, right? For each. at the very least. And then 𝗧𝗢 is like what, 20 as well? I don't know if there is a better one. I don't know if there's a better one. 𝗧𝗢 is mostly used for the HP part, because like for a character like Lilia or Ban, having the damage increase and the HP increase is like a double buff for their damage. For Escanor, is just a damage increase. The HP doesn't matter. So I was thinking maybe someone could be better than 𝗧𝗢 is right here, but doesn't matter. Maybe if I had 𝗧𝗢𝗪𝗘𝗧. 𝗧𝗢𝗪𝗘𝗧 could be probably better, because then you guarantee that Escanor would in fact hit every single crit, which for the most part he is. I think he missed like one right there, but that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Oh yeah, is this one of those stages where you have to one-shot them or something? I'm not sure. So first time we don't one-turn a stage. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I think we one-turn the following ones though. I think it's just because they have like something that doesn't allow them to be one-shot or something like that. And I don't care to know what they have. I'm just gonna keep monkey attacking them. Ooga booga, Escanor, big damage. That's the way to play the game that I like the most. No think, just finger. Or whatever Escanor does. Don't cock me. Give me an Escanor card. Okay, thank you. Thank you. She's not even attacking. She knows there's no point. The AI deep down knows they can't stop me. I have everything in my favor. The fact that I have Escanor alone, I probably could have soloed. I probably could have actually soloed this whole tower with Escanor. I just didn't because I was like, is it not worth my time? Like this, the other tower is impressive because you know it was actually hard. Like the stages get pretty specific, and if you don't have the gimmick, especially like the early stages, people were really surprised by like stage 2, the bond fight. But these stages, like, you know, it's like, yeah, I can probably solo with Escanor. It's just more of like a time thing than a strategy thing. Because a lot of the other tower stages, I was trying to be quick, so I didn't really explain most of what I had to do. But a lot of the tower stages, I had to like do like 10, 15 times until I got like perfect card RNG. And not only for me, but also for the opponent, because a lot of times the enemies also combine cards and do like level 3s on you and rush ultimate because of that. And at that point you're like, oh, okay, well, it'd be like that, I guess I'll just lose. But yeah, it would be like the same thing here, except it would always be first attempt. It would just take a long time because I only have one character. I would always go second. I can only attack once, like stuff like that. Well, this is it. Thank you for staying with me while I talk about random Grand Cross stuff. I mean, that's all I do anyways. That's all I'm here for anyways. Maybe I will make a video on the new system. I just don't. I'll have to ask a big whale, which I don't know that many, like how the system works. And I'd have to ask them to like show me like screenshots and stuff. It's okay, no one cares. 99.9% of you don't even have access to that system. Probably 100% of you, so it doesn't really matter.